Hello again, YouTube. I'm here with another e-liquid review, and today I'm going to be reviewing two different flavors. Both of them are from SnG, and both of them are from the Kick and Ash flavor sample package that I ordered and received just a few days ago. The first flavor I'm going to be reviewing is honey cured tobacco, and if you see what's left of the bottle, I've been vaping on this for quite some time, and I actually enjoy this flavor. But I'm going to go ahead and give it a sniff. First of all, I guess we'll take a look at the fluid here. And you can see it's got kind of a reddish hue to it. It's a little bit pink. It's interesting. So by sniffing it, I get like a kind of a strong, almost bitter tobacco scent to it. And then there's just like a small, slight undertone of sweetness. It smells like a strong tobacco flavor, and if you're a person who likes the vape, the tobacco flavors, this is probably something up your alley. But if you're a person who doesn't like to vape tobacco flavors, it's got a strong tobacco smell to it. So it smells pretty good. Now I'm going to be vaping this in the iClear 16. That's where it's been. And that's where I've been vaping it. I just kind of been going on and off on different flavors, and this one just stayed in the iClear 16, and I gotta be honest, I kind of enjoyed it. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a vape. My eVic says 2.2 ohms on this thing. I think I need to change the heat element, but we're gonna be vaping it at 3.5 volts, so 5.5 watts. Now, as with all SnG vapors, I really like the vapor amount that's being produced. I like the iClear 16 also. I think it performs really well. I've had people tell me I should get a mechanical mod, but I'm still rolling with the eVic, and I am looking at mechanical mods. I've been taking recommendations. I just don't have the money for one or two or three that I want to get right now. Now, as for honey cured tobacco, the flavor, I gotta say it's got a really potent tobacco flavor to it. It's got a strong tobacco, and it almost reminds me of when I was smoking Camel Wide backs, the Camel Wides. It's got a really strong Turkish tobacco flavor to it. I do like the hint of honey that's inside there. It's nice. It's smooth. This one's got a really smooth throat hit. It's not overly strong, but the hint of honey it adds a punch of sweetness. It's really mild in comparison with the tobacco flavor, and I think it does this tobacco flavor justice. And way I rate my tobacco flavors is if I could see myself drinking a beer with them, like I used to do when I smoked cigarettes. I would drink beer and smoke, and I've seen myself drinking beer with this. I drank beer with it, and it's pretty good. I would say the two go hand in hand pretty well. I will admit the tobacco flavor is a bit bitter, but the punch of honey flavor kind of mellows it out. According to the webpage reads, it's a rich, dark tobacco steeped in sweet honey for a potent yet smooth tobacco vape. And I gotta say, that's a pretty spot-on description of what you're getting with honey cured tobacco. And I put this in line with Midnight Apple from Halo Purity, which has a strong tobacco flavor, but they add a punch of sour apple to it, and I really like that apple punch to it. This one's a little bit different. It's more, it has a stronger cigarette tobacco, whereas Halo Purity's Midnight Apple has a cigar flavor to it. So if you're more of a cigarette smoker, I would say this is probably right up your alley. I do say I enjoy this flavor. You know, I'm not a huge tobacco fan of, you know, I don't really vape the tobacco flavors, but this one's pretty good. And I'll probably come back to it just so I can have something to vape when the family gets around and drinks IPAs. Now the second flavor I'm going to be vaping is in my Aga T2, and it is Rough Rider. And I'm going to pull up the description of this one. I've also been vaping on this one a little bit. As you can see, not so much. This one it's quite different. Most of it is now in the Aga T2. So let's go ahead and put that on. Now hopefully I don't have too many vapor output problems. I have been, I just cleaned this tank out because I've been vaping Fire and Ice a lot, and I really like that flavor. So this one's posting 1.5 ohms, so we're going to vape it at 3.5 volts. Let me give you the smell of it first. This one's a lot different. I mean, it has a really strong herbal overtone to it. You know, it's a little bit hard to pinpoint the tobacco flavor in it, but it's there. I mean, you kind of smell it, but it's got more of an herbal overtone to it. And I'll read the description and then take a vape and tell you how it really tastes. So it's on the SnG webpage. It's a stimulating blend of tobaccos, herbs, and spices that will spark your senses. And this one it's a little bit different. This one's also enjoyable, but it's definitely a different tobacco blend. It's got a different flavor to it. Now, I would say the tobacco taste that comes out, you know, it's kind of an undertone, but the tobacco taste that comes out is more like a what is it? Natural. Hold on, I actually took note of this. Natural American Spirit tobacco, and that's what it really reminds me of, is the American Spirit tobacco. You know, it's kind of mild, but it's got a nice strong tobacco kick to it. Excuse me. Now it's got a really strong herbal overtone to it. It was hard for me to really place what herbs are being in there, being put in there. You know, I'm not really sure. I definitely get a taste of clove on exhalation. I gotta say, it tastes like clove. You know, on my tongue aftertaste, there's a clove aftertaste, and I don't really mind that. I think it tastes pretty good. I can't say I enjoyed clove cigarettes though, but having just like a hint of it is okay. Now, I'm not sure what other spices are being used, but you know, they taste familiar, like some of the spices that have been in other flavors from SnG that I've tasted. And there's also that sweetness from the vanilla wafer flavor that they have. So it's hard to say, you know, it's hard to describe as an exact tobacco flavor. Man, how would I describe it? One more vape. I think I got a good description. Yeah, I think I got a good description. Okay, if you've ever been around somebody who actually smokes American Spirit, the people I've seen who smoke American Spirit like to put their own herbs in their tobacco bag. So you get like sage and clove and gosh, I don't know, whatever blend of herbs they want to put in there. Maybe thistleweed or something like that. And this does a really good job of representing, some guy who's got American Spirit and happens to put a bunch of herbs in there. Maybe not every person who puts their own herbs in there. I can't exactly say sage is in there, but yeah, it's got that kind of homemade batch of American Spirit tobacco, which I also find enjoyable because American Spirit isn't exactly a really strong blend. When you smoke the American Spirit tobacco, it's got a really good throat hit, but this doesn't amount to that type of throat hit. Still, it's got a nice mellow tobacco-y flavor, and I also enjoyed this flavor too. And it's got that touch of sweetness in there that's okay. So I got both of these at SnG. Not being a huge tobacco flavor fan, I can't say that I would come back to these flavors all the time. But I really enjoyed the honey cured tobacco. It's got a strong tobacco flavor with that taste of honey that I found enjoyable. I like the tobacco flavors that got a good kick of sweetness. As for Rough Rider, I think it was a pretty good flavor too. I don't think I would come back to it very often, but it's still nice to have that option if I want to, kick back with some IPAs and drink a few beers with my family and smoke like if I were smoking a real cigarette. Both these flavors seem pretty good for that type of setting. So as I said earlier, I'm looking at other mods. The Poldiac was recommended, and I got to be honest, I really want to get it, but it's out of my price range right now. So hopefully in the future I'll get a Poldiac. It looks awesome, it sounds awesome, and hopefully they're not sold out by the time I get one or by the time I can afford one. I'm also looking at other mechanical mods that are not priced so high. I don't think they're going to perform as well. And I'm looking at getting something to test the voltage dropping and some of the other equipment that a lot of people have, when they review mods. Because my Ego pass-through battery died, I'm looking for one of those too, just because I like to have that around. I thought that was a great pass-through battery and something I could just rely on when I want to vape and not have to worry about the battery dying. So if you got recommendations for mods for me to review that I can afford, go ahead and leave a comment. I'll definitely look into that mod. If you have any other fluids that you want me to review, put that in the comment and I will look into those. What's up, Wasp? Now if you like this video, go ahead and click like. Leave me a comment. I do respond to all my comments. At least, I say that every video. I can't be 100% certain I have, but I do think I respond to every comment I get. If you haven't clicked subscribe, go ahead and click subscribe. And I will be doing more e-liquid reviews in the future, and I'll be doing more product reviews in the future also. Until next video,